Welcome, everybody, to the behind the scenes of Quarter Life Catharsis by our very own Pamela, who I still have the sound effects app. Hold on, I can make it. It's so abrupt. Okay. Cool, so I want to dive right into it. We're on the title 2 pages here.
Wait! We need more. Okay.
Well, we need to know who you are.
We just need to know more crap about what's going on.
I was gonna dive into. Wait, I was gonna say, like, we're here to explore. Okay, let's try a couple versions of this.
Okay.
We're here to explore the inner thoughts and funnies of Pam, the author and creator and just artist behind this zine. The zine was very much so I was gonna say a baby child, but I think I mean love child, except it's a love child with yourself. This is a love child of Pam and herself. It is many years in the making, and it's an aggregation of photos and poems and quotes and song lyrics. And so we're here today to explore and go in depth into some of the ideas and thoughts and creative processes, memories, emotions, laughter, tears that went into making this.
Wait, can I just say that was a great intro? That
Oh!
version 2 was way better than version 1.
There's too much breaking fourth wall. That's gonna be great, though. It's fine. We're gonna move on to the first spread, pages 4 or 5.
So this is an excerpt of a commencement speech by David Foster Wallace. You know this first part about the two fish in the water and then them asking what water is? I like this concept because when you think about it, fish are in water.
Okay, now work backwards.
The two fish, honestly, it kind of reminded me of, you know, that scene in Finding Nemo where they're, the fish from the tank are in the Ziploc bags.
Oh, yeah.
And then they finally escape the dentist's office and make it into the ocean. And then they're like, now what?
Why bring attention to this idea of the water? Like, why was that important to you?
Yes, Helen, good job on keeping me on track. Helen! You should be a babysitter. Okay.
I am.
Okay. Okay, so I think ultimately, like, the core of this commencement speech is, like, what am I trying to say? You tell me.
I think you mentioned before, it's like, and I've seen you do it in person, where it's like the things that people would regard as mundane, or like the moments, the in-between moments that you literally sit back and pretend you're taking a photo with your brain, and when we watch you do it, we're like, what is going on?
Helen, you should just ask the questions and answer them. A commencement speech really set the tone because it's like the end of the safety of the fish tank, and now we are diving into that ocean.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good way to put it for your zine too. It's like an exploration of the ocean that is beyond that fish tank.
You're so right.
Yeah, this scene is like truly a dedication to like the moment, like the in-between moments that you notice, and I'm really excited to really jump into what those moments were and how you picked them.
Oh my god, me too. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. So, in this poem, who are the players and how did you choose the song and lyrics in general?
So, Fast Car is actually one of my all-time favorite songs. Ultimately, the song captures this notion of, you know, they have like these big dreams and hopes, and then they meet someone who they think will help push them, but then they end up just being a phony baloney.
So who's the fast car?
It's like obviously about men.
Oh. Love it.
But then I went to a city where I didn't need a car. Ooh. Turns out public transportation isn't that reliable either.
But I remember you said something along the lines of they are a recurring motif because you like that they are transporting you from one section to the next almost.
that there is a theme of ever moving onwards. It is like a very contained unit of experience, and it is very intimate too if you're just you and another person. Yeah, and you're really going somewhere, so it's like jump into this little capsule with me. It's our space, the boundaries are clear, let's go somewhere. And when you look back in your memories, it's almost like it's a little vehicle that's driving along, because there's so much more to the world that you didn't experience, but your memory is that little car bubble that moves through space. Yeah, and so I think that's really sweet.
Dude, I'm gonna think about that next time I get into an Uber.
Yeah. Do it.
Okay, so in the spread of the skyline with the highway, I actually took this shot on the bridge from Mission to Potrero Hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was just always entranced by the skyline. It makes you realize how much has been developed, how many people have been here before you. Like, I think about all the windows there and how every window represents a person who's living there or working there. But then, okay, the way I edited this photo, I like the glitch of it because it's like like you want it to be a dream, but also no, the past haunts you. It's like you want to flip the page, but the old stuff will always be in the page behind that page.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting, because not only is it black and white, it's a totally different time that you took. Like, it has to have been taken at a completely different time.
It's actually the same photo.
No way.
Yeah.
No
I cropped it. Like, it's the same photo. Really? I just cropped it and then like smushed it together.
Oh, where? Or like how? Which car corresponds to which car? It looks like you took it on a totally different day.
Oh, wait, can I move? Oh, this. You see this?
Oh my god, time's an illusion. No, seriously, it's like, where do you draw the line between when something was the past and the present?
Oh, that's good.
And it's where you're looking in the exact moment, which is exactly this line.
Yo!
So that's really cool. And there's no way I could have known that if I hadn't known this was the same image. That's really fascinating.
Whoa, that's beautiful.
I have notes here that I want to ask you about. So in your poem and in your quotes, we've got themes of friendship, support, and being found. I'm wondering how these things fit together, and how did you choose to pair this photo, this poem, and this quote?
This poem is extra special to me because I'm sitting with the very person who inspired it, my muse. So for us, it started with wine and a shot in the dark. Ellen and I went on a trip to Napa, and that's when I proposed to her. to be roommates. I didn't know her at all, but it started with wine, and a shot. So the shot is fun because I did take shots.
Yeah, you did.
But also it was a shot in the dark because we were gambling. Like, we didn't know that.
Yeah, that was, you asked me way too casually. When I think about it in retrospect, I could have been very bad.
I know, I could have been very bad too.
Yeah.
Good thing we're perfect for each other. What the? That was some risque business. And then sparks everywhere. So that's kind of like referring to when you shoot a gun, there are literal sparks that happen. And I know this because I've shot a gun with Helen. But then also, it's chemistry, which I bet you can sense.
Oh my god. You can just hear the sexual nervousness in my face. God, I give off real virgin energy around you.
You kind of do, which is ironic. You would destroy me in bed. I already know. Okay, we haven't stopped laughing yet. Because our aim was accidental perfection. So I like the notion of we literally haven't stopped laughing because we're hilarious for each other. No one else, really. It's just us. But then sometimes, like, the aim was perfection. Like, you know how sometimes things are so ridiculous that you just, like, it's just like, no way did that happen. And then it happened.
Also, this is my favorite photo of Pam that she took when we went on our Oaxaca trip.
Yeah.
This is the first time you were explaining to me how composition in a photo works and what you like to capture. And honestly, I didn't get it, like, at all, until I saw this photo. And that's the one I actually started to believe in photography.
Oh.
I was like, well, it's like familiar, but different.
Yeah.
It feels
yeah.
familiar, but it's like different in an intriguing way.
It's
It's like different, but it feels more interesting, like immediately. Like I don't have to squint and stare and then convince myself it's interesting. It feels instantly more interesting, and that's when I was like, whoa, okay, this is for real. Section 6. I really like this spread. This spread takes us back into the dark. I want to hear about the lighting and the mood of the photos and how it enhances the ambiance of the poem. And then I also want to know that, like, about this like paradox that you present in the poem, where you seem to be like spiraling in the chaos to the point of like discomfort, but also you seem aware that you will miss this. So it's like is this type 1 fun to you, or is it type 2 fun? Or
Yeah, okay. Well, so the photo, that was a beefy question.
Sorry.
That was
break it
good. It
down.
was juicy. Okay, the photos first?
Yeah, photos first. Like
Um,
ambiance, mood, this photo set. Tell me.
it's clarity amongst chaos. And I think there's like, even between being, like being drunk, I think there's moments where I'm just like very self-aware of what's happening.
I like that it gives a dimension to an otherwise like dimensionless type of experience. Like when you think going out, when you think partying, it's just like a very one-dimensional experience. But you've painted it. You almost like took a kaleidoscope to like a scene that we feel like we all know. Because you are sticky. You're on
so
the floor.
sticky.
You're sticky. You're on the floor usually.
Yeah.
Like you specifically.
Okay. I miss being on the floor.
Yep. I thought it was this specific environment outside of the metaphorical fish tank was like very much a turning point in like where the bar for fun could go. Not how high it could be. There's just now a bar in the middle of the ocean you did not expect to be there.
Oh.
And 4 girls walked in.
You look so happy about that joke.
Yeah, I particularly liked that you shouted out this experience in your quarter life crisis because
Oh wait, what's your point of view? Because like you were here.
Yeah, I was.
You were here in amongst here.
Yeah, I think this is why I was like, wow, you had enough clarity to write this, because when you go out and we're out, I didn't realize that you were actually paying this much attention still. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, we literally lost you guys because you went to pee, and we were like, oh no. But I think it's like the chaos part, like this environment really, it's like a good catalyst for the potential of our chaos. Yeah, and I think it's like no matter what bar or club we went to, we were always the most fun. We are again the most fun people there. We are where the circle forms, and we attract all the other fun people to our circle. And so it's like seeking clean chaos, cheap thrills. Like, yeah, this is some good water right here.
Heck yeah, let's sip that Kool-Aid we made.
That sounds kind of nasty. But the idea is there.
Fish do pee in the water they live in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do they pee? Do they don't drink water, do they?
Yeah.
Fish don't need to hydrate.
Yeah, they do.
Fish pee?
Yep.
No.
They open their little flap.
Sorry, what?
They have a flap.
Are you making this up to open? Section 6. Fish pee is fun. We make the pee and we also party in it. Let's go. Okay. I think that this for me was my favorite spread of your zine because it's just so visually impactful. So I once again am going to ask you to talk about the photo set and then the second page layout, poem, everything.
Okay, so I really liked, I call it a hook, of taking like the whole notion of don't live the rat race, then like twisting it and noticing this is the race out here, but we are the rats, like we're the ones running. And it makes me think about how easy it is to get lost in the everyday pacing, and you kind of lose sight of what you really want, and you just focus on like it is easier to just like follow the pack. Whenever I think of tech, I think of that quote, which is the best minds of my generation are thinking about how to make people click ads.
I really liked this spread because it really made me feel your hook, like the margins, the spacing, the font, the claustrophobia. Because like when you think about rat racing, there's just so many of them, and they're all running over each other, and you lose your individuality and just become this mob, and it doesn't fit, and it's overcrowded, and that's how the letters feel. And the sense of space on this page just makes me feel like there's too much and too little at the same time.
Ooh.
Yeah. It like you don't fit right. It doesn't feel comfortable.
Oh.
The way that this doesn't actually feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you sit next to the other thing? You notice that most, and you notice that most in this spread too. It's like you notice where all the text sits in relation to each other. So it's like that idea of like comparing, constantly being aware of like where in space are you relative to the other things. Really feel that in this.
Oh, I'm feeling you feeling that.
I think that's what this whole podcast is.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like even like the poem kind of reads with adrenaline almost in it. It's so there's like not even enough space on each line to like for more than a couple words, but that word says so. The words are unrelenting as well.
That's a good
and
way
the
to
pace
describe
is
it.
there's a pace to this poem too. It just
Yeah.
hits you and hits you and hits you. You don't have time to stop and think. Like
Yeah.
you don't. It's just the next thing. The next thing. This is almost like a list.
Yeah.
The list you need to run the race.
Mm.
Like this list is the race. These are this right here. This is the race. It is interesting. Like this quote. This is sort of noticing the water. This
the
is
best minds of my generation are thinking about how to make people click ads. Yeah.
That's
You're aware.
Yeah.
You're the veil is getting lifted.
And then this is a list that's described. Like this might as well be like, what's the temperature of the water? What's the It's like these are all the things you're using all these things to run the race instead of noticing that this is what you're doing. And when you list it like this, you can almost read it two ways. As an engineer, when I listed this, I was like, I relate to where each one of these is in my life. I relate to where each one of these items I've thought about and what I need to think about next. And then pausing and realizing, oh my God, this is my life. So it's like, what layer of awareness are you reading this? Is this like the race? Is this the walls that you're condemned by, or is this your to-do list?
Oh,
you don't know.
Oh, this was actually the hardest one for me to write, and the only thing that really did stay consistent is this is the race and we are the rats. That like the theme was always there, but I didn't know quite how to work with it. I really like the valley show signs of rust because it's Silicon Valley and it's sparkly. It's like really enticing. You want to like it. You cling to it.
My Chinese self sees red and this like off-white and a child and kind of this message that this is the race and we are the rest. This almost feels like it's being told to us as like you should be proud. This is like we are being told this and then pictured like coupled with these colors. I feel like this is almost like a propaganda poster.
This is our propaganda. It's just not told to us so explicitly. Yeah. No, I think this can be read like it can be read like a realization. It could be read like this is what we're being told to do.
Oh. And that's a good segue into the last section too, which is the rest of everything, which is let's just jump into 9.
9. Okay.
It's flowing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's us.
I think the whole notion of when you die and your life flashes before your eyes, I think about what I would want my last memory to be.
Aww.
Ew. And I'd want it to be like people I care about, right? Which I think most people want. Okay, so this kind of like ties back to what I just said with the line of we're more entertaining than what's on the TV at our front. It's like art can dare to imitate us and it'll almost never get it right. It's because like what we have is better than when someone tries to recreate that. Like you can try, but what we it's like it just is. It's organic. It's
Oh, I like
the purest feeling.
Because it's almost self-aware. Because this entire zine, it's almost like you saying that the water is what it is, and you can try to capture it.
Mm-hmm.
That even in this honestly beautiful collection and way of capturing it, it's still somehow more beautiful than that.
Yeah, it is.
That's a very like self-aware from an artist's point of view line about that, and I like that. I have a quote, the Brene Brown quote for you that I would want to hear you just talk about, especially like, in regards to the memories that inspired the zine, as well as these last few pages that are just like the explicit, the actual, like the very literal images you see. Bittersweetness has been defined as a mixed feeling of happiness and sadness, of appreciating life's most precious moments with the unbearable awareness that those moments are passing.
Renee, my woman. Oh wait, what's the question?
Just want to hear your thoughts on that quote.
Oh, true.
Case.
True. Yeah, no, okay. Something that reminds me of is also in Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, the memories are getting erased about the relationship. And then in one of the final scenes, it's like, this is all going to be gone soon. Like, they're aware that the memories are getting erased. This is all going to be gone soon. So what do? We just enjoy it. Oh! Yeah, so, like, I think that was a notion I was experiencing a lot as I was about to move, both out of San Francisco, but also from this part of my life. It will never be exactly the way it was. So the most I can do in those moments is just enjoy.
Oh, that wraps up so nicely with the very beginning of your zine, which is like, why does it matter? Why should we pay attention to the water? And this is why. Because all the beautiful moments, all the things that you can do in these moments, the best thing you can do is just be aware of what they are.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the power of understanding and being able to observe the water around you, is to be able to like get to this. Yeah. And you brought us through that journey to get here. I'm whispering. You're never going to hear that again, but I said something nice.
Helen just called me the train conductor.
Yes.
I brought us from the beginning to the end. But you also brought us. I'm the ding, 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 ding. Okay, that was great.
Yeah.
Aw. I'm glad we shared that. That was good. Oh, I'm so sweaty.